My dear student, today we will learn about the axillary artery, that is the continuation of the subclavian artery. Yes, in the previous class we have told about the subclavian artery that end at the outer border of the first rib. Actually we use the term end, but it will continue as another name, that is the axillary artery at the outer border of the first rib, just like the name of the river I have told before, or like the name of the roads or different paths at different region or different locality. So we will call this arterial tube as the axillary artery. Why? Because it will pass through the axilla. So let's see the extension of the axillary artery. Okay, we will see the axillary artery here. Here we have to hide these muscles, the pectoralis major. Here is the anterior fiber of the deltoid. Okay, and also we will hide the subclavius and the clavicle also. Okay, look at here. From the outer border of the first rib, axillary artery will arise and it will end where? At the lower border of the teres major, and this teres major muscle will situated behind here. This is the teres major. Okay, it will arise from the lower end of the lateral border of the scapula, and another attachment is in the medial lip of the intertubercular groove of the humerus. So we will hide this long head of the triceps muscle. Here this one is the teres major, and it will insert here in this region. So if we want to see the teres major from front, then we have to hide these muscles, biceps brachii, the short head. Here is the coracobrachialis also. Okay, we'll hide this. We'll hide also the latissimus dorsi. Okay, now you can see the teres major from front, isn't it? And this axillary artery will be termed as axillary up to this portion. Okay, I am hiding also the structures other than arteries. Okay, I think it is clear now. Here is the teres major muscle, and up to this portion, this one is termed as the axillary artery. Now look at here. Here is one muscle, that is the pectoralis minor muscle, and this pectoralis minor muscle will divide the axillary artery into three parts. It is not that it will cut the axillary artery into three parts. Just the portion remain behind this muscle will be considered as the second part, and its proximal portion, that means from the outer border of the first rib up to the medial border of the pectoralis minor muscle, it is termed as the first part, and from the lateral border of the pectoralis minor muscle up to the lower border of the teres major, it will termed as the third part. Okay, so like the subclavian artery, axillary artery has also three parts. One is the first part, another is the second part, and another is the third part. And I have told that the second part is hidden under the fibers of the pectoralis minor muscle. Now we will see the name of the branches arise from different parts of the axillary artery. Okay, we hide the muscles and nerves from the field to see the vessels, and we will hide the clavicle also. We will also hide the veins to make the arterial field clear. From here, from the first part, one artery will arise, and this artery is not shown here, but we will draw it here. The artery will go to the thoracic region, and that is the superior part of the thoracic region. So it will be termed as superior thoracic artery. Then from the second part, this area, okay, this artery or this trunk will arise, and from this trunk one artery will go to the thoracic region and another artery will go to the acromion process or acromion area. Okay, so this trunk will be termed as the thoracoacromial trunk, and this will be termed as the pectoral branch of the thoracoacromial trunk, as pectoral means relating to the chest or breast. Okay, and here this artery will be termed as the acromial branch of the thoracoacromial trunk, because it will go to the acromial process of the scapula. And another one, this one, it will go to the deltoid muscle. Okay, so termed as the deltoid branch of the thoracoacromial trunk. So from the second part, the thoracoacromial trunk, one artery will arise, and another one is the artery that will pass along the lateral aspect of the thoracic region. So it will be termed as the lateral thoracic artery. So from the second part, these two arteries will arise. One is the thoracoacromial trunk, another one is the lateral thoracic artery. And from the third part of the axillary artery, three branches will arise. One branch is the subscapular artery. This artery remain under the scapula. It is the subscapular artery. From here, one artery will pass along the dorsal aspect of the thoracic region, so it will be termed as the thoracodorsal artery, and another artery will go to the backside of the scapula, bending along the lateral border of it. So it will be termed as the circumflex scapular artery. When something bend any anatomical area, we will term is at the circumflex, isn't it? So one artery from the third part is the subscapular artery. Now another two arteries. One is here. It is the artery that circumflex or that bends the surgical neck of the humerus from the front. So it will be termed as the circumflex humeral artery, anterior circumflex humeral artery. And here this one, this artery, it will bend the surgical neck of the humerus from behind or posterior side. So it will be termed as the posterior circumflex humeral artery. So from the third part of the axillary artery, three branches will arise. One is the subscapular artery, another one is the anterior circumflex humeral artery, and another one is the posterior circumflex humeral artery. And then at the lower border of the teres major muscle, this arterial tube will be named as another name, that is the brachial artery, because it enters into the brachium or arm. We will see the branches of the brachial artery later in a drawing. Hope you will enjoy that video also. My dear student, why I have shown you the position of the axillary artery in this visible body? Because sometimes you will find some cases, okay, where the symptoms are supposed to arise from the nerve occlusion or from the nerve, but you will find no problem in the nerve plexuses. Then what may be the cause in that case? In that case, just look at here. In case of arteries, some portions may become unusually dilated, and that is called as aneurysm. Sometimes aneurysm of the axillary artery occurs, and if it occurs, then what will happen here? If aneurysm occur in this place, then it will compress the surrounding nerves, even the axillary vein, isn't it? And the axillary artery pulse can be felt against the humerus in this region, in the lateral wall of the axilla. Thank you very much.